What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It is your girl, Lydia Caesar, aka the Sassy Wife.
I want one guarantee. I need you to love me through it all. Even when you're angry, I need you to love me through it all. Ain't gonna always be easy.
So, you may have come to a point in your life where you have to ask yourself a very important question, and that is, why marriage? This video is for anybody who's in a relationship. You've been in a relationship for a while. You're contemplating, should I get married? We can easily live our lives together happily without walking down the aisle, without getting in front of, somebody certified and saying the words I do, without getting into this legally binding agreement. You may be a woman who's waiting for her man to propose, and you may be that guy who is feeling the pressure and you feel like, it's time, but you're not sure. Well, I'm a relatively young wife and I've been married 5 years, and I feel like it's one of the best decisions that you can make for a relationship if you know for sure that this is a person that you would love to spend the rest of your life with. A lot of people make excuses. You never know. What if you change? People change. Of course people change, but that's why marriage is about commitment. Marriage is about unconditional love, because the conditions are always going to change in your life, okay? Marriage is just almost like that next level commitment where when things do change, you cannot just hit the exit button and be out. It's a little bit more challenging than that. So if you feel like you have found that person in your life, the person that you would want to spend forever with, the person that you want to go through the mud with, the person that has held you down, but you're not sure if you should pull the trigger, I'm going to tell you why you should. Let's get into it. Okay, so marriage is a way to show the person that you love, the person that you want to spend your forever with, that you're ready to make a next level commitment to them, right? Why do you deserve marriage? Why does that woman deserve marriage? Why does that man deserve marriage? I believe it's because naturally, as human beings, we always want to take the easiest way out of things. Marriage kind of takes that out of the equation, because there's nothing easy about getting out of a marriage. Once you've made this decision, it is literally a contract, a legally binding contract. And this affects a lot of your mental. So while if you weren't married, if you didn't have this stuff on paper, it may be easier for you when times get hard to just say, you know what, I'm out of here. I'm out of here, because you're not gonna ever even think about the ramifications of leaving your partner, because there are none. So it becomes easier to let go without a fight. It's like saying, okay, you know what? I want to be with you so much that I'm gonna bind myself to you, and we're gonna fight through everything. It's gonna get hard. And even on those days when we get tired and exhausted, because naturally we do. Naturally we want to quit. Naturally we want to throw in the towel sometimes. When those days come around, we will remember that we made vows, that we made commitment and promise to each other, not just to each other, but in front of people. We actually took the steps to make documentation of this love that we have. And that's the value of it. And it's a really big reason why I feel that if you really love this person, getting married to them is a way to show them that you're very, very serious. Because marriage you literally cannot take it lightly. To get out of it, you're gonna have to go through so much. So when you actually take that next step of commitment, you're telling this person, I really do want to be with you forever. No matter what happens, no matter where the chips fall, no matter what kind of cards we are dealt, I am in this thing for the long haul. And this is why people feel that that's what they deserve. They deserve you saying you are worth that next level. You are worth commitment to the 10th power, because that's basically what marriage is. Commitment to the 10th power. You are worth that for me. Is that something that you want to say to this woman? Is that something that you can genuinely say to this man? If it's not, don't get married. Marriage is for people who have have spent time learning and understanding an individual. It's for people who have been committed, who trust each other, who respect each other, who want to build a future with somebody forever. Sometimes we can overthink things, and you can think to yourself, man, forever is a long time. What if we have problems? What if it gets bumpy? It is gonna get bumpy, and you are gonna have problems. But I can guarantee you, you're gonna have problems with anybody that you're with, no matter what. Problems are going to exist. And this is why I think that before you say I do, that you should make sure that you know this person in and out. I highly suggest some kind of marriage counseling so that you've dug underneath the layers. You never want to marry somebody and then find out later that they're a monster, or find out later that they had some tremendous issues that you had no clue about before. Do your homework. Do your due diligence. Really build a firm, strong foundation and go on top. And once you've started to build these things with a person, marriage is the ultimate goal to seal the deal, because now you can say, you know what, no matter what it is, I've learned this about this person. I've learned that about this person. We've made it through this. And I know that no matter what, we'll make it through all of it. She deserves that. He deserves that. Make certain of that before you say I do. And if you really do this work beforehand, we will have less marriages that end in divorce. For some people, honestly, you have to remember and keep in mind that ethically, morally, and religiously, this may be what they feel that they need to do for their lives. And you must know this. That's why it's important to have these conversations with the person that you're with beforehand. You should know. And you should most likely be like-minded in that sense where, okay, you know what? This is morally what he wants. This is morally what she wants, and it makes sense together. It can become challenging if you guys are not on the same page morally and ethically. And if that is the case, it is your job to really make sacrifices and cater to the person that you do want to spend your forever with. And maybe marriage is not like your end game. Maybe it's not something that you always needed to have in your life. But if your partner has, you really see that this is a value that they had. This is a value that is important to them. Is that partner worth it? Are they worth that sacrifice? Ladies, it's important to be with a man that has a plan for you. When you're in a relationship and you're dating and you're building, you need to be building on trust and communication and happiness and passion. You need to be building all of these things before you even get to the conversation of marriage. It's a little bit of a turnoff, ladies, when you just jump in and you're just like, so, do you want to get married? I mean, that could be a topic of conversation, of course, but you never want to begin pressuring a man early on. You know, maybe your biological clock is ticking and you're nervous about it. So, you don't want to turn him off by being aggressive and assertive when it comes to something that is literally forever. A man is going to marry you when he wants to. This is something that I have learned, not just in my relationship, but even watching other people. When a man is ready, he gonna marry you. So trust and believe. If you want to get married, your man knows this. He knows. You do not have to, nudge him and drop so many hints. If you guys have had many conversations, you've been together for many years or whatever the case may be, maybe even a few years, I'm sure the topic has come up. And if it has come up and you've said to him, yeah, I'm the type that wants to get married. He knows that you want to get married. Pressuring him, giving ultimatums, all of that stuff is a no-no. It can totally backfire. So make sure that if you are trying to drop hints, that you're subtle, that you're respectful, that you take into account that this is a big decision, that this is forever. And you also don't want to pressure him. He gets into it and he wasn't ready. And now your marriage is in jeopardy because you forced his hand at something that he wasn't necessarily ready for. Also, legally, there are certain protections that you have when you get married. If your partner were to pass away, you automatically inherit certain things. If your partner gets very sick, your family, you can visit that person in the hospital. You may deal with issues if that's not the case. If you get into any legal issues, You have protection as husband and wife. So yes, there are also, legal reasons why. But I think the main takeaway for why you should get married is because it's really saying, I want to be with you for the rest of my life, and elevating that. Marriage can be something that offers you stability and also gives you incentive to succeed, which I think is so powerful. We don't want to fail at things, right? Marriage is one of those things. Nobody wants to have a failed marriage. It gives you something to strive to be great at. I want to be a great wife. You want to be a great husband. You want this marriage to be successful. You want it to be fruitful. You want it to produce babies. You want it to produce businesses. You want to build an empire on a family name. Marriage gives you so much to work with when it comes to like building your life, sharing a name, sharing a family that will go down in history and carry itself on. You can't really achieve that without a formal marriage. Also, marriage gives you a sense of pride. It's like a club almost. And I think that that's a great thing. If you love your husband, you love your wife, I think it's great to have a sense of pride. Like, man, I did that. I seen him. I checked for him. We dated and I locked him down, and for him to say, I saw her from a distance and I wifed her up and I locked her down. I'm Lydia Caesar. This is The Sassy Wife. I just told you why I think you should get married. If you have a reason, if you're in a happy marriage, tell us why you did it. If you came out of a bad marriage, tell us what happened. Let's all avoid these mistakes and let's all go in love and